Hello, thank you for joining me at Bert's Books. It's been quite a few weeks, I think, since I got it together to do anything, and this really is intended to be just a quick check-in. I don't know where the time goes. It's been sort of busy. I have been away, and my usual kind of thing of seaside towns, always yielding an interesting array of second-hand books, seems to still hold true. So I revisited Barmouth, or Bermo, as I think it's referred to locally, in the county of Gwynedd in North Wales, and came away with a number of things. First up, the novel of The Eiger Sanction. Now, it's years since I've seen the film, many years. I don't remember a lot of detail other than Clint Eastwood and mountains, which makes it confusable with The Eagle Has Landed, I suppose. But this is a different proposition to that. Interesting name, Trevanian. Is that meant to be one word? It's not Trevanian. No relation, surely. I've no idea. I don't know if he has a first or second name. If it's a he, even. I'm guessing it's a he. It's a very blokey book, I'm guessing. But yeah, so I didn't quite realise there was a novel to the Eiger Sanction. Next up, one of those classic dad books, or from at least from a classic dad author, Dick Francis, Dead Cert. The cover art indicates this novel promises to combine broom handle Mausers, as favoured by Silencio in The Big Silence, and I was about to say jodhpurs. I don't know what they are, like jockey wear. It's a horse racing thriller. As a jockey, Dick Francis was unbeatable. Oh, so actually Dick Francis was a jockey, according to this. As a jockey, Dick Francis was unbeatable when he got into his stride. The same is true nowadays of his crime writing. So three jockeys get warned not to win their races. They're threatened to take a tumble. Okay, one of those things. Haven't got into this yet, so we'll see. I do like the artwork though. Next up, now it's quite a while since I've read Accursed. I have dabbled in the Gunnar Ash series. There's quite a lot of them, and they're not thin books. What became I don't think I've picked up this one before. Now this one, spoiler, it seems he survives the war. This one seems to be in a post-war setting, which is unusual for Kirst's sort of rather military-themed thrillers. There's sort of classic cover treatment, though. I don't know what year this edition was. First published Fontana Books 1966 and 1963 in Germany. Next up, now you do chance upon these now and again. It's obviously a much less popular genre, but the Spanish Civil War thriller. This is To Slay the Dreamer by Alexander Cordell, which concerns itself with activity from the Sierras to the French Pyrenees. As the storm clouds gather in the passionate fight against the fascists, a young Spanish countess and a trained American assassin join forces with the partisans in a terrible... Oh, okay, I think this is set in that period after the Civil War, much like that. Yeah, I've seen that horror film, the Guillermo del Toro one. I'm struggling with the name of it now. What's it called? You know the one I mean. It's kind of set, it's kind of guerrilla or partisan activity against Franco's forces. It's set in a similar setting, I suppose, probably with less supernatural content. But anyhow, now this author first horrified but fascinated me about 20 years ago with his book Kelly and Victor, which was set in Liverpool around the time of the Millennium Night and the months afterwards, by the same author, Niall Griffiths. This is Talons and Teeth. It was just set in I think he's Welsh by background, although some of his work is set in Liverpool. I think he's Welsh, and this one is set in very much set in Wales, in this historical setting, just on the cusp of the Industrial Revolution, transforming that landscape with its large-scale mining activities. Now this, as much of his work tends to be, is unremittingly bleak, grimy, as well, but I zipped through this pretty quickly. It's quite compelling reading. You know, he's good at establishing a sort of rhythm or a momentum with his narratives that's hard to argue with, even if you're sort of going, "Ooh," at some of the events described. I mean, I suppose this one is, yeah, it's easier than Kelly and Victor in that on that front. If you've ever read Kelly and Victor, you'll know what I mean. I mean that, yeah, brings tears to your eyes. And talking of stories that bring tear to your eyes, and now I have touched on this one before because I do have an older edition of this. But I chanced upon this on one of those railway station charity bookshelf things the other day. This is a relatively recent edition of James Dickey's Deliverance. So from the cover art there, a quintessential Burt book, if you see what I mean. So yeah, so the opportunity to or the prompt to read it again. It's been a couple of years, and I'm sort of about third in already. It probably is a book I should do a dedicated episode on, rather than sort of chip away at it every time I pick up a second-hand copy of it. Again, I thought, yeah, it's another of those books you just blaze through it once you. I've not got to that bit yet. You know the bit I mean. Yeah, from what I remember of my last reading of this, it is pretty much more or less as the film rendered it, and yeah, that level of uncomfortable. But as tends to be the case with a novel that is then filmed, this affords a lot more kind of in the way of background detail, and you kind of know a bit more about the lives and the motivations of the rubber-dub-dub four men in a tub. All right, it's two canoes, but you know what I mean. So yeah, nice to revisit this. Anyway, it was only £1. I think it's a 2005 edition. So yes, sorry it's been so long. That's that for now. I'll try and get back to more specific dedicated episodes. I have a couple of things in mind. I also really need to get on. I haven't forgotten the Elvis contingent of my followers. I don't want to be neglecting you. I do have to get on the case with this new Peter Guralnick book, because that's been in circulation, I think, for a few weeks now. So yeah, I haven't forgotten. I've just been really slack. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope we will catch very soon. Thank you.